You're not on any lists here in Arizona. This is your debut.
We just came down with Key Relevant Vineyards to introduce. I just added a couple hundred cases into the production, and frankly, I love it down here. And I only want to sell wine to places I want to travel to.
Right, gotcha.
You know, otherwise, you end up in Hackensack doing a wine tour. Not so much fun.
Still, we're the last to get everything cool. And that sucks.
Well, there's a mystical side of farming. It's using the lunar cycles, using all kinds. In the end, a lot of it has to do with science. But it's taking a mixture,
esoteric bullshit.
Exactly. Taking some bullshit, right? Growing some bacteria on it, putting it inside a bullhorn, burying it in the northeast corner of your property for a year, pulling
doing
it
a
out,
little rain dance, and the next thing you know, you've got wine.
But if nothing else, it's a meditation on what farming really is, and it gets you into the cycle of life as it relates to your vineyard. I don't think organic sells wine, for one thing. I think everybody says, oh God, that wine's organic. I think I'll pick it over something else. It's not like an organic carrot. I don't think it helps people choose. It gives you a sensibility, right. Maybe, but you can't charge more like you can. You'll pay twice as much for an organic carrot than you will a conventional one, right? But you won't pay twice as much for an organic wine.
Now the restaurant, how's that going?
Off the charts. Yeah.
Reservations every night? Are you booked? Do people have to call 6 months in advance?
It's cranking. And we opened on December 5th, the lowest day of the Dow in our grandparents' lifetime.
Congratulations.
And I think when you're going through the desert, you're really careful with your water. Right? You guys know about that? Right. So when you open a restaurant in the desert of our lifetime, you're really careful with the customers, which are our water, and we treat them really well.
Gotcha. Now, do you use any of the social media, media, any of that?
We do. You know, I have like 23,000 people on my Facebook fan page.
Okay.
So I talk to them all the time, which is totally fun. But it's kind of like, shooting the heck with somebody, and I'm having a harder time tweeting.
Okay.
Because it feels like I'm tweeting to nowhere. They don't see, at least, if you post something on your Facebook, you'll see you'll get 300 responses back. Your tweet just kind of goes, and it never really comes back to you, or it does in some diverse way.
Right. Now, what do you think's the next trend in Napa? Is it going to be access?
Access is it's a funny thing that you say. What do you mean by access?
People getting the real Napa experience. So when an average Joe books a trip to Napa, he pays for, he gets the wine tasting experience. He pays his $20. He goes to a couple tasting rooms. But I want to hang out with you, and I want to go to your restaurants. Right. Well, is that going to become a big deal?
I think it's funny. No matter how much money you have, the one thing that you cannot buy is access. And the hospitality of the Napa Valley was created by having access. You would go and see Bob Mondavi on a Saturday morning and pour in Moscato for people because he loved to drink Moscato in the morning. And all of a sudden, he built an entire gigantic brand, a multinational brand on that sense of hospitality. The wine's good. Right? The wine's good. There's a lot of good wine. But we call this
you're hanging with
the manoir, the gender-friendly word of like mankind. Manoir, having a taste of the vintner or the wine grower in a glass of wine. And I think that's really important. So every night, if I'm in town 6 nights a week, I'm at my restaurant cooking my butt off. I come out, thank you very much for coming. Is there anything I could have done to make your evening more spectacular? People know that I care. I opened in the worst day of the Dow since the Depression.
Right.
So I want to make sure that every single person has a spectacular time.
Tom,
Frank.
good to see you.
Good to see you. I'll see you in Sonoma.
All right, sounds good.